7Es, receiving students and teachers.
Hello, Miss Sirima.
Thank you. You may sit down. Right, 7Es and receiving students. Just recapping on our previous lesson. Receiving students. What is this ratio in its simplest form? 4:16. In its simplest form, receiving students. Okay, Alan?
One is to 4.
Okay, very good. Class, receiving students. 4:16. When you simplify, it is 1:4. So remember, ratios are just like fractions where you can simplify, cancel down, or bring down to the lowest ratio. Okay, so 4:16 is simplified as 1:4. Receiving students, did you get that? All right, the next one. Write this ratio in its simplest form. A father is 35 years old and his daughter is 14 years old. What is the ratio of the father's age to the daughter's age? Okay, remember the instruction says simplest form. So here we're asking for the ratio of the father's age to the daughter's age. So what is the father's age, class? Okay, 35. And the daughter's age? 14. So 35 is to 14. Now what are we going to do? All right, we simplify to the lowest. So what will it be? 7 what?
Simplify by 7 is 2.
Okay, let's try. What number can we divide evenly into 35 and 14? Okay, 7. So in simplest form, 5:2. The father's age to the daughter's age is 5:2. Okay, class, 7Es and receiving students. All right, I'll read to you a problem and I'd like you to answer this one also, class, receiving students. Okay, Stanford and Wesley shared 40 kina in the ratio of 2:3. Okay, class, listening carefully. How much will each boy receive? Okay, again, Stanford and Wesley, they share 40 kina in the ratio of 2:3. How much will each boy receive? Okay, so we have 2 boys who are sharing how much money? Okay, they're sharing 40 kina. Okay, 40 kina amongst each other. Now, they're sharing it in the ratio of 2:3. How much will each boy receive? Receiving students, I'd like you to just work that one out quickly. All right, class, how much is Stanford going to get? How much is Wesley going to get? Receiving students? All right, Jubilee. Okay, Jubilee, if you can give me the working out or tell me instead of giving the answer first.
3 plus 2.
Okay, good. 3 plus 2. 3 plus 2, which is equal to 5 parts. Okay, good. So?
3/5.
Okay, firstly, let's work out 2. 2/5. Stanford and West. Okay, good. So 2/5.
Multiply by 20/1.
Multiply or times how much?
20/1.
20/1?
40/1.
Okay, 40/1. All right. The amount which is 40 kina. Okay, good. So when we work that one out, 2/5 times 40/1
Simplify 5 into 5.
Okay, 5 into 5 is
1.
1.
5
5,
into 6.
5 into 14
8.
is 8. Okay, so 2 times 8 is
16.
16. So how much does Stanford get? 16 kina. Okay, 16 kina. All right, what about Wesley? Next one. Quickly, let's have someone to tell us how to calculate receiving students. Okay, Evelyn.
3/5
3 over 5, good.
times 40/1.
40 over 1, good.
Simplify.
Simplify.
5 into 5 goes 1. 5 into 40 goes 8. 3 times 8 equals 24.
24, very good. So Wesley gets 24 kina. So if you add 24 kina plus 16 kina, you should have a total of 14 kina. So receiving students and 7 is. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to watch a video insert class that will lead us to our main lesson for today, which is on rates. So we'll watch the video insert. And when you watch it, please, I'd like you to just make sure you take note of some things.
Hi students, how are you all? Well, as for me, I'm fine. Today we will be looking at rates. Do you know what rate is? I know you have some ideas about rates, but I will show you some classical example of how rate is applied in our daily life. Rate is a comparison of two unlike quantities. It is expressed as a quantity per one unit of another quantity. The most commonly used rate is speed, which compares the distance over time. Example, meter per minute or kilometers per hour. However, there are other common rates which are used in corporate organizations, such as BSP, currency exchange, fuel station, liter per 12, and shops quantity per kilogram. Now, at a fuel station is one of the locations where rate is applied. Here the rate is expressed as 12 per liter. Class, I have a 20 kina for fuel. Now let's see how much fuel I will get for my car. So, from the 20 kina, my car received 7.35 liters of petrol. Now, can you tell me what is the rate as 12 per liter? To simplify rates, multiply or divide both terms by the same number as in ratios. When using a rate, we must show the units. Rate is expressed as quantity per one unit over another. Now, what is the answer to the problem? Is your answer 272 toea per liter? Here is how I got the answer to the problem. From the 20 kina, I received 7.35 liters of petrol. Now, before solving the problem, it is important to know the order of how to solve the problem. So, in this case, before we simplify the rate, we need to change the 20 kina to toes, because the rate is to be given in toea per liter. Then we divide and not multiply in this example. So the rate is approximately 272 toea per liter. Now students, from the service station, we have now moved to Gateway Hotel. In this hotel, they normally use currency exchange. Now we will ask this lady to explain to us how currency exchange is used in this hotel. Hello madam, could you explain to us how you do about with your currency exchange?
Hello, hotel rates are depending on daily rate currency. It depend mainly on dollars that we buy. We actually don't sell dollars, but we buy dollars daily depending on the rates provided by the bank.
So what's the rate for today?
The rate for today for US dollars is 0.4129.
Thank you, madam.
You're welcome.
Students, now I am in a shopping center to show you another example of rate. It is common in many shops where they compare the amount in kina with the weight of the goods. For example, here we have brown onions. I will give you an example on brown onions. Brown onions, to find a per kilo is given. This is a fixed rate which is given. Every per kilo of brown onions cost 4 kina 65 toea, as you can see. Now, how much will it cost me to buy 10 onions? 10. Students, this is a weighing machine which will now give us the cost of the 10 onions. Let's see the cost of the 10 onions from this weighing machine here. Now the cost of the 10 onions is 4 kina 72 toea. Plus, now we have another example. Here we have the beef steak marinated or marinated beef steak. The rate given here is fixed. In other words, every per kilo costs 19 kina 95 toea, as you can see. Now, how much will it cost me to get 6 of the steaks? We will again use this weighing machine here to weigh the 6 steaks, at the same time give us the cost of the 6 steaks. The weight of the 6 takes is 1.202 kilogram, as you can see on this scale here. And the cost of it is 23 kina, 98 toya. Now this is an example of how rate is applied in shops. Well, class, these are some examples of how we can express rates in its simplest form.
Okay, class, in the video insert, you saw examples of rates, all right? You saw examples of rates, for example, fuel rates, okay, currency exchange, weighing of goods, okay, and all that. Now, that brings us to our lesson, understanding rates. Now, a rate expresses a quantity per unit of another quantity. Now, for example, at the petrol station or the fuel station, if you looked at the rate, when it was calculated, 227 toya per liter, okay? 227 toya per liter. Now this means 227 toya for every liter, or 1 liter. It costs how many toya? How many toyas? 227 toya. All right, instead of writing per, P-E-R, we use the symbol, okay? This is the symbol. This means 227 toya per liter. Okay, instead of writing it, P-E-R. Yes, class? Same with at the shop, all right? We looked at the rate of the meat, weighing. How much is it per kilogram for the meat? 19 kina, 95 toya per kilogram. So every kilogram of that meat, it costs 19 kina, 95 toya. Okay, another kilogram, it will cost another 19 kina, 95 toya, and so on. So when we write it out as per, we use the symbol 19 kina, 95 toya per kilogram. So this explains, or it expresses a quantity per unit of another quantity. So this is another quantity, this is another quantity. Now here, 150 kilometers in 2 hours, okay, 70s and receiving students. Now we have to find out the rate. How many kilometers per hour is this? Okay, class, receiving students, 150 kilometers in 2 hours. Now we are going to find out, we want to find out how many kilometers per hour is this? How many kilometers for an hour will it be? Okay, likewise, we said simplifying. When you simplify like in fractions. In ratio, you simplified. In rates, you can also simplify. So 150 kilometers in 2 hours. What will be the fixed rate? Okay, let's try and work that one out. Okay, 150 kilometers in 2 hours. Has anyone got an answer? 150 in 2 hours. Okay, so what are we going to do here? We are going to simplify, or we are going to divide. Okay, divide by, here you have to divide by 2, very good. Also divide by 2. So you have 2 into 2 is 1. Okay, you can say 1 hour or just hour. And 150 divided by 2? 75. So what is the rate? 75 kilometers per hour. Okay, so 75 kilometers per hour. That's the fixed rate. So in 2 hours, it's 150. 75 times 2 is 150. Okay? Now, look at the next one. A woman travels 210 kilometers in 3 hours. What is the fixed rate? Or you simplify this, what will be, how many kilometers will it be per hour? Receiving students? Look at the problem there. A woman travels 210 kilometers in 3 hours. You simplify it down, simplify it. How many kilometers will that be per hour? Per hour, 1. Quickly, okay, Begley.
$70 kilometers per hour.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Begley. So this is how he worked it out. All right, 210 kilometers in 3 hours. Okay, you're going to divide by 3. Okay, divide by 3, so that you can come to the simplified. So 210 divided by 3 is 70. 70 kilometers in an hour or per hour. Okay, so that's the simplified or the fixed rate. So in 3 kilometers, 70 times, sorry, not 3 kilometers, but in 3 hours he traveled 210 kilometers. 70 times 3, which is 210. Okay, have you got that? 70s and receiving students? Okay, good. Right. Now, so those are some examples of how we can calculate rate, how you can simplify rate. Okay, quickly in your books, receiving students and 70s, okay, change this into the simplest form, or this rate. Write each of the following rates in its simplest form. A, 8 kilometers in 2 hours. B, 10 kilogram for 5 kina. Okay, bring it down to its lowest rate, or its simplest rate. Okay, that should be very simple, class and receiving students. Okay, who's finished? Very good. All right, A, 8 kilometers in 2 hours. Class, receiving students. In 2 hours. Okay, what will be how many kilometers per hour will that be? Okay, what are we going to do here? Simplify or divide? All right, divide by 4 or 2? Okay, divide by 2, you divide by 2. Okay, you have 4 kilometers per hour. Okay, give yourself a tick. That's A, correct. 4 kilometers per hour. So if he travels in 2 hours, 4 times 2, he will have traveled 8 kilometers. Okay, good. Next one. 10 kilogram for 5 kina. B. 10 kilogram for 5 kina. We divide by 5. Very good. So divide by 5. I divide by 5. 2 kilogram per kina. 2 kilogram per kina. 2 kilograms per kina. Give yourself a tick, class, receiving students. 2 kilogram, okay. 2 kilograms per kina. All right, good. Now, next one. Okay, complete the equivalent rates. All right, A, 2 kilometers per minute. Okay, those are the rates given, fixed rate. How many kilometers will that be per hour? Okay, the fixed rate given is 2 kilometers per minute. How many kilometers will that be per hour? B, 5 liters per hour. How many liters will that be for a day? So here we are dividing. I'll give you a hint. Here we are dividing. In this case, we're not going to divide. Okay, you have to find out how many minutes in an hour. Yes. How many minutes in an hour? That's for A. B, how many hours in a day? I'm just giving you a hint, class. Okay. Okay. Okay, we'll go through that one together. A and B. All right. How many kilometers per hour is, how many kilometers per hour for A? 2 kilometers, the rate has been given, 2 kilometers per minute. 2 kilometers for every minute, okay? Now remember, there are 60 minutes in an hour. How many kilometers will be for an hour? Okay. What do we do to get our answer? Multiply by 2 times 60. For 60 minutes in an hour. So 2 times 60 is 120. So 120 kilometers per hour. Okay, class? Because you see, this is hour and this is minutes. The rate has already been given per minute. So you want to find out an hour. So you have to work out how many minutes in an hour. So 60 times 2 is 120. All right. Okay, class, receiving students and 7Es. I'd like you to complete your rest of your exercises for homework. All right. If you haven't completed B, class, then you can do that for your homework. All right. 7Es and receiving students. All right. I also have this problem here, receiving students and 7Es. Can I have you to get this one down for your homework, please? And we'll correct it in our next lesson. I walk at 5 kilometers per hour. How far can I walk in 3 hours? I walk at 5 kilometers per hour. How far can I walk in 3 hours? So that's for your homework. Please, receiving students, And 7Es, get that one down and do for homework. All right, so this has brought us to the end of our lesson. Again, on rates, class, when we want to compare rate, a rate expresses a quantity per unit of another quantity, okay? For example, 2 kilometers per minute, okay? All right, we're going to stop here, class. And again, please complete your exercise for homework. All right, we'll stop here. Thank you very much, 7Es and receiving students, for participating in today's lesson. Our key phrase for today is understanding rates, and in our next lesson, we're going to be looking at comparing rates. Thank you.